Hey, welcome to the Night Watch, our first recorded episode in a long time.
Since like 5 episodes ago. 6 episodes.
Jeez, I don't know. It was
Been a
before
minute.
Kenobi, I know that much.
It was before Kenobi. I don't even remember what we talked about before we talked about
It's
Kenobi.
probably just random stuff, like just
Yeah.
anticipation or whatnot.
Oh, for sure.
Colin will be joining us once his computer decides to update.
Right.
But
Shouldn't be too much longer.
we were wanting to do, well, we were all busy. We need to do like something on the not just the finale of Kenobi, but the entire show in general,
Oh, definitely. We need
because
to.
that was that was amazing.
Yeah, well,
For those of you that watched our live, watch parties, thank you. And I mean, our reactions pretty much tell you. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. It was definitely an experience, man.
I
Like,
mean, okay, when Luke showed up in The Mandalorian, that was one thing. And
yeah,
then seeing Luke and Ahsoka together in Book of Boba Fett. But this level of emotion I had not expressed since Revenge of the Sith.
yeah, same here. It just it's a good way to continue, and though that I mean, it's been longer than the show was 10 years, but it's been longer for us than
Yeah, it's been
years since Revenge of the Sith. It's been what, like 15?
17.
Yeah, almost 17.
17 years.
Yep. So it was definitely nice to see, Ewan
I mean,
McGregor.
us old farts, well, when we grew up, all we had was the original trilogy. There was nothing else, unless you want to count the Ewok show, the or I think it was the two movies of the Ewoks, and then there was the
Yeah.
animated stuff, but I don't count that, or the holiday special.
I don't think anybody counts the holiday special.
Yeah.
Like, the Ewok show in the movies, I don't even think anybody from, like the original trilogy even showed up in those
I
besides.
haven't watched them. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're on Disney Plus now, but I haven't watched them. The only one I watched was the 2D, uh, I think it's Genndy Tarkovsky's 2003 Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
but that one was good too, though,
Yeah.
man. I don't even know, was Rex in those? I don't even
No,
remember.
there was no Rex or Ahsoka in those.
Okay, yeah, that was when Anakin was still like a Padawan or whatever it was,
He
right?
started out as a Padawan, and then yeah, it actually showed, him getting knighted, but that's not canon. I mean, the
Right.
canonized version of, I guess you can call it canon because it's a book, is that Brotherhood book that I read, and it showed it kind of sucked for Anakin too because the way they got knighted was they did it in groups because the Clone Wars just started and
Right.
they needed generals to lead the separate battalions, so they were just knighting Jedi left and right. And instead of Anakin getting his personal knighting, he was knighted along with another group of Padawans. So he didn't get the special treatment that he wanted. So that was kind of, one of the things that pissed him off.
Right.
But
So like, so he wasn't a Padawan anymore after that, right?
no, he was not a Padawan. And Obi Wan was getting
Jedi
used to the fact that they're equals now. Because Obi Wan, if you remember, I can't remember. You remember in Attack of the Clones that one Jedi that jumped up into the balcony after Dooku and Jango just blasted him and killed him?
Yeah.
He had a seat on the Jedi Council. Well, since he died, they asked Obi Wan to take his seat on the Jedi Council.
Oh, so okay, that's how Obi Wan became on the council. Which that always kind of like, like Qui Gon didn't even want to be on the council,
No, no, and that was
but Obi
covered in
Wan,
The book Master and Apprentice. Because okay, again, I gotta go in my memory bank here. I may be remembering this not the right way, but Qui-Gon was asked to join the Jedi Council and he was thinking
right?
about it and he was talking to Obi-Wan about it and Obi-Wan's like, "Well, I think you should do it." And it wasn't a unanimous vote for Qui-Gon to be there. Yoda was against it. And it was the fact that Yoda was against it that Qui-Gon decided not to.
Really? Why? I'm kind of surprised. Well, Yoda and Qui-Gon bumped heads
Be-
a lot,
they
didn't they?
bumped heads because he didn't always follow the council's wishes because he followed the Force, and the council wasn't always following the Force, which
Right.
led to their demise. Hang on a sec. I got to unlock the door for my wife.
Okay.
But anyway, yes, that's exactly my thoughts on that.
Yeah. It's I like I think we've talked about before. If Qui-Gon wouldn't have died,
Oh,
then
things would have been drastically different.
yeah.
Um, First of all, Qui-Gon would have saw pretty much immediately that Palpatine was the Sith Lord. There would have
Right.
been no Clone War. He would have saw right through that too. Dooku probably would not have went to the dark side because part of
Oh,
the reason Dooku went to the dark side is because Qui-Gon died. Him and Qui-Gon were pretty close because Qui-Gon was his Padawan.
yeah. I remember that.
So that was one of the things that led him, not the only thing, but one of the things that led him to the dark side. And he was, and my theory is he was trying to find out who the Sith Lord was that did that. I think Dooku was a double agent. I think he turned to the dark side, didn't have the Sith eyes because he wasn't fully committed. He
Right.
just played his part to try to find out who was pulling the strings. And when he
Right.
finally found out, he got his head cut off by Anakin.
Yeah,
So
definitely. But I mean, so Qui I don't know, man. I just think Qui-Gon could have done so much, dude.
Qui
And
Gon in the entire span, I mean, I guess you can count Luke, I don't know, but Qui Gon was the true Jedi.
yeah,
The
definitely.
true Jedi. I mean, in the comics, the old Dark Horse comics, he actually had a brush with the dark side because he had an attachment to a woman who got murdered by a Sith assassin. And he really got close to the dark side, but he turned from it.
Yeah. I mean,
And he would have understood Anakin's attachment to Padme, understood all that, and he would have
right.
told him about his experience. Obi-Wan should have done the same thing about Satine. Instead of keeping it to himself, he should have told Anakin, I understand wanting to leave the order over somebody, or whatever. He should have opened up about that. That
I
would have
feel
made
like
Anakin feel a little bit more secure, and he would have trusted Obi-Wan a little bit more.
yeah. But I mean, Anakin was with Obi-Wan since he was what, like 10 years old, something like that.
Yeah, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah. And it just everything that went down was um I was just but dude, when
Well, the problem
Qui-Gon
was Obi-Wan was a brother. Anakin needed a father.
all right.
And he
Yeah,
didn't have Qui-Gon, so he turned to Palpatine, and Palpatine had him in his grasp ever since day one.
yeah.
Even in the Phantom Menace, at the very end, he told him, "I'm going to watch your career with great interest." And I was like, "Yeah, he is." He was grooming him the entire time to become his next apprentice.
Yeah. That's just man. Like if you thinking back on everything, dude, it's just like how um and like Yoda's supposed to be, we were always taught that Yoda was like the great and powerful in his prime and all
Well,
this stuff.
yeah,
But it's like if Yoda was
he's
next
great and powerful, but he made mistakes too.
right, but like I don't understand how even Yoda didn't see that Palpatine was hidden.
He had his suspicions. I rewatched Attack of the Clones the other day, and when Palpatine was talking to Padme right after her decoy got blown up in the beginning, Yoda looks back and kind of squints his eyes a little bit. He's kind of giving that look and like, "Are you serious, motherfucker?"
Yeah.
He's like, he had his suspicions, but he didn't have. I don't think he felt like he had enough proof to actually, But I mean, even if you
Right.
didn't know that Palpatine ended up becoming the Emperor, there were enough red flags. Someone outside looking in, you can tell that this guy's up to something,
Yeah.
and it ain't
Like
good.
right. And then like when he was like what really got me is when he was like I want you to put Anakin on the council.
He did that on
Nobody was like,
purpose.
why is he telling us who the fuck to put on
See that
the council?
he did that. He knew what the council's reaction would be. He knew they were going to grant him the rank of master, therefore making Anakin more pissed off at the Jedi. Everything leading up to that point was Palpatine pulling the strings the entire
Right.
time. He wanted him to distrust the Jedi so he'll turn more to him.
Yeah, agreed. It was just messed up that they was like, who the fuck are you? Like they wasn't like, who the fuck are you to tell us who to put on our council?
That's
You know?
why the Darth Plagueis book needs to be canonized because it's not going to change a damn thing in canon. Because Qui Gon was targeted by the Sith because they knew that Qui Gon would figure things out.
Yeah. That's why Maul was sent.
He had to be eliminated, and he was.
Right. Dude, I don't. They always talk about how Darth Plagueis died in Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Did
I
they?
know. It was okay. The day after, pretty much the Trade Federation was defeated and everything, and Palpatine comes out and he talks to Anakin and all that. That night before that is when he killed Plagueis.
Okay. Yeah, but they show him in the Phantom Menace, right?
No,
Like that very split second.
nope, they don't show him at all in the
Oh
Fenris.
wow, maybe they didn't. All right, but yeah, man, it was just George Lucas knew what he was doing. Though.
Yeah. For
He
those
made
of you who haven't read it, this book right here makes a lot of sense,
yeah,
and it's in this book that Plagueis and Palpatine created Anakin.
yes, and see, that's my thing. I think because they manipulated the Force
Mhm.
into creating Anakin, correct?
Yep.
I think the
The
Force then,
Virgins and the Force that Qui Gon was talking about,
yeah,
that was Anakin.
yeah, I think that the Force created Grogu as a counterpart, like a
That's the
backup,
theory.
like a backup,
That's that's a theory, but I don't.
right?
Until we are given any more clues, don't know.
Get
We
on it.
just know that Anakin and Grogu are exactly the same age.
Yes, I like it. And the thing is okay. So George Lucas has never mentioned what Yoda's species is, where
Mm-mm.
he's from,
Nope.
or anything along the lines of that. Nothing.
No.
Just zero. Nada. I think the Force creates them, if that makes sense. To kind
Well,
of,
if you're talking about like if the dark side creates an entity to power the dark side, then the light side will create a light side version to counteract that to make it balanced.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So,
That makes sense at first if the Virgins ends up being dark side to begin with, but he was light side, went to dark, and at the very end went back to the light. So if you want to use that logic, that means Grogu is going to be dark.
right, I get that. It's just, uh, I wish he would explain it, but I feel like that's something that George Lucas
He
is
wanted to keep it a mystery. He wanted at least one thing that he created to be a mystery.
right, and
And
it's
Disney can't do shit with it. That's part of the
right.
contract. They can't they can't name his species, they can't name where he's from or nothing.
Right. That's insane though, man. Like I feel like Dave Filoni's kind of trying to give us hints with Grogu.
Yeah. But
A
I
little,
think he'll do it in a way to where it'll just explain maybe how he was created and what who rescued him at Order 66, but beyond that,
right.
probably not.
I'm still wondering if it's going to be Reva, just due to the fact that like she survived, man. Like Anakin stabbed her and she survived as a kid.
I know, which I
Like,
still am trying to wrap my head around.
right. I'm
But
thinking like, dude, Grogu has healing powers.
all right, you're making too much sense.
Possibly Grogu was hiding in his little thingy and Anakin
He
didn't
saw
really know
that.
what it was. And then Grogu fucking popped out of his shit and he'd seen that Reva was still alive, but kind of like she might have played dead, blah blah blah. But what if Grogu, like, jumped out of his shit and was like, "Oh no,
That
this
would
was
make sense because after Anakin stabbed her, he's not going to wait and see if he's going to be like, okay, I stabbed you. You're going to die. I can leave,
exactly,
pretty much.
exactly." So Grogu jumps out, saves her, and then her and Grogu escape. But she's just a kid. She can't. She's not going to be able to raise Grogu the way that he's
No,
supposed.
no.
So
I think
where?
that's when I think that's when Jocasta Nu comes in because she survived. She's the librarian, the caretaker of the archives,
Yeah,
the old lady that was kind of a dick to Obi Wan in Attack of the Clones.
yeah.
If
You think
it
she
doesn't
had
show up in our
Grogu?
system, then it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot
You,
like an absolute.
oh yeah. So you think she possibly took Grogu after
Yeah,
and
yeah,
raised him?
because there was a comic. I think it was Darth Vader comic
Yeah.
that takes place after Order 66. Yeah, because they're still clones, and right now, at that time, the clones don't even know who Darth Vader is because they're shooting at him.
All
Um,
right.
she is trying to preserve as much of the Jedi Order as she can. She's got all the whole list of all the Jedi younglings,
All right.
and she's trying to protect it. And I think that comes into play with Cal Kestis in Fallen Order because he gets like a list like that too, if I remember
All right.
right. But she fails, but I can't remember how she died, and I I want I'm torn between an Inquisitor kills her or Vader himself kills her. I can't remember which one.
All right.
This is a while ago that I read it,
And
but the information is safe because she was about to leave and go somewhere to hide out on a different planet or something because she had a
yeah.
ship, but she didn't make it. But that's all I remember. But I
Man.
think if you go off of Grogu healing Reva and they escape, I think Jocasta Nu catches up with them and kind of separates them or something because we don't know how Grogu even ended up on that planet to begin with.
Exactly. And
So that's a long time period. That was kind of a long time period too, because you got from Order 66, which is roughly 20 years before the original trilogy, and you got another 4 years after, and another five. So you're looking at 40 years
all right.
almost,
Yeah.
or 30 years, about 30 years of, you know.
yeah. What gets
But
me?
I don't know because Yoda, or not Yoda, but Grogu was only in his early 20s. So I don't know if he might have had, okay, never mind. I was about to say he might not have that much force power, but he was being trained as a youngling probably. So yeah, he probably is pretty powerful already. He just didn't use it in a while
Yeah.
between then and the Mandalorian.
I would. You, there's because didn't Ahsoka say that he like locked away his memories or something?
Yes, he did. He locked away his memories. I think it's because it was traumatic for him. That's my best guess.
Right.
And from his vision that Luke unlocked, he didn't see Anakin.
No, I'm wondering. It just makes you wonder though, because like with the
And he would look like he was in kind of a um what the hell's that? The pram. It looked like he was kind of in a pram back then too.
yeah, and
I'd have to
it's
watch it again.
same. Well, I'm totally gonna watch, like season 2, and then the episodes from the Book of Boba before season 3,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to, you know, like
Like a refresher thing. Got to get prepped for Ahsoka.
yeah, because I mean, fuck, dude, when was the season finale of Mando? Even
Hell, it was a year and a half ago.
exactly, and then Book of Boba was
It was a
even
few months ago.
yeah. So and then they haven't even released the trailer for season 3 yet to us, but they did it at
Yeah.
um, Star Wars
Celebration.
Celebration, which you
Which
can find online if you look it up.
yeah. Yeah. And it
It's
basically looks like Bo-Katan's going to be the
big,
antagonist. She's going to be the bad guy, which kind of saw that coming after season two.
yeah. Which it makes me wonder if Bo could if Bo's gonna be the big bad and Mando season 3 or whatever, then I can see Ahsoka coming back in because of Poe
Maybe.
and her past,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
Ooh,
Sabine,
that'd be crazy to see those two fight.
right? And then I
Because
mean, more
Ahsoka won't try to kill her. She'll just try to calm her down and try to reason with her. I don't
right,
see it because they have a history. Yeah, from the Clone Wars. So
and then you got Sabine that's going to be with Ahsoka,
yeah, because
who
they're looking for
gave
Ezra.
Poe the dark blade, which Sabine could come back and be like, you didn't fight me for the
Yeah,
blade, so technically it's mine if I want to be a fucking like asshole about it.
I wonder if that's kind of what turned Bo-Katan kind of dark because she took it without earning it, in
Right?
battle,
Yeah,
and that just gave her bad juju.
yeah, had to have, because when Moff won it, I mean, I don't know, they're all
We
I
don't
can't
know who Moff won it from because if you go back to the Clone Wars, the reason why Darth Maul didn't use it anymore because he lost the fight with Palpatine, and technically the Darksaber belonged to Palpatine, but Palpatine didn't fucking want it, so it's
know.
basically unclaimed. So at that point, then what's the rules after that?
Right. Is it like
It might
when
be maybe
like
at the point now where it chooses who it needs to be with,
yeah,
and it's not Bo-Katan, it's
no,
Din Djarin.
right. And it makes me wonder because like what are the rules if like you just give it up? Like if you're just like, here, you can fucking have it. I don't want this.
No, I mean no, that's not how it works.
All right. Like, is it like when a wrestler gets injured and they're like, I have to vacate the title, and they have a huge tournament to determine the new
Yeah,
champion? Like, but I mean, come on, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, just shit don't work like that.
Yeah, they need to. I don't know. They need to explain that a bit better because
Yeah,
going by the rules of winning it in combat, and if you count Palpatine beating Maul, it's Palpatine's, but he didn't claim it, so it's unclaimed.
because he just
So I
never.
guess that means that when Sabine claimed it, it was hers, but at that
Right,
point, it had to be won in combat.
right. I'm trying to. Who had it when Sabine got it? I can't. Why can't I remember?
Ezra found it.
Ezra did find it,
I'm pretty sure Ezra's the
and
one that
she
found
was
it.
like, "That belongs to
Yeah,
Mandalore." All that
yeah.
shit. Yeah, and then uh, dude started to train her
Yeah,
with it.
Kanan.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and started to train her with it, and then she was just like,
She was experiencing the same stuff that Din was with
with the weight.
fighting against it instead
Yeah,
of letting it.
yeah. I still think the Dark Blade is going to end up with Grogu, and he's going to be
I
a.
don't know how's he going to swing that thing.
I mean, think about it though. Like, I mean, if he does get it, I'm sure like he could adjust it to make the blade smaller or something like that
Maybe,
until
but I
until
don't
he
know.
grows into it.
I don't know. I think
Uh,
it's going to stay with Din, to be honest.
you think so?
I think so.
I'm hoping
I
so.
think I think well, we pretty much know at this point that Grogu is a foundling still. He's going to be a Mandalorian Jedi.
Yeah, yeah,
But I don't know if he's actually going to be a Jedi. I just think he's going to be a Mandalorian that uses a lightsaber.
right.
Because he turned away Luke's teachings, so he's not going to be a
But
Jedi.
it still pisses me off that Luke even gave him those fucking options.
We're not
Like,
going to go through that again.
I, yeah, fuck that shit. Dude. That shit pissed me off.
Yeah, like I said, blame Ahsoka for that.
I do fuck her. But yeah,
And you can also call it plot armor. You got to give him that choice that the viewers to be like, oh, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Fuck yeah,
right.
he's going to go back to Din. That's his
What the hell
daddy.
do you expect? Like, but do you think Luke knew he was going to do that?
I don't know what. I think Luke was at that point was just like, whatever he chooses, he's going to respect it.
Yeah, I could see him being like that. That is Luke. It just, you know, in. But uh, so I
I
have.
mean, the way the story went, they had to have they had to have Luke to come get Grogu. That's the only Jedi that everybody would feel like is worthy enough to train him, other than
But
Ahsoka. She already turned it down. So then they had to explain, okay, Ben Solo, because eventually, as much as we don't like it, it's going to lead up to the sequels. That's just inevitable. So Ben Solo was supposed to be the first um,
student of Luke.
student of Luke. So they were trying to figure out, okay, and what happened to Grogu after Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren destroyed the temple? Well, now we know Grogu wasn't there because he wasn't getting trained, and now he wasn't technically. When Luke was doing all that training stuff with Grogu, he wasn't technically a student yet.
Right. He was just kind of watching.
He was trying to get a feel for Grogu's powers and where he was at, so he
Right.
knew how to train him. It
Right.
wasn't until he made that choice whether he's going to be a student or go back to his dad.
Right. And that's when, because he even asked Ahsoka, "What am I supposed to do with him?"
Yeah.
And she was just like,
See, that comes to my point again. Luke, as powerful he is at that point, has no idea how to train anybody. This is the first time, you know. Being trained is a lot different than training someone else.
"Right." It's
Because
not
Luke
like,
wasn't just trained by one person. He had Obi Wan, he had Yoda. So, and there are two different styles of teaching.
right. And it's not like Luke's gonna jump on
And who
Grogu's
knows?
back and be
You
like,
know, this might be
"Flip."
a shot in the dark, but maybe Anakin, as a Force ghost, trained his son as well.
He could have, but because it's what 5 years since Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
think, yeah, something
And
like
we
that.
know that Anakin and Ahsoka had a conversation. You know that's going to be live action because Aiden has been dodging questions from interviews. Be like, so you excited about the Ahsoka show? You know, being in it and all that. You know, trying to lead him into saying something he's not supposed to, and it doesn't
Right,
work. He's like, I don't know anything about that, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
man.
And
Like he's
so,
like Andrew Garfield with no end.
yeah, pretty
I'm
much.
not in that shit. Leave me alone about it.
Yeah. But you
But
have to do that, you know. You have to. You can't spoil it like that.
right, exactly,
You
and
know,
because
I understand how I mean, if I was in that position, it'd be hard as hell because I don't want to lie to
yeah,
my fans, but at the same time, you're being paid not to. So it's just like, do I want this job or not?
right. But I mean, dude, look how much shit Tom Holland did and didn't early. I mean, he got in trouble, but he didn't get in like horrible trouble.
Yeah.
He was always spoiling shit, and then they was just fine. They finally learned their lesson and was like, "All right, so this is what you say, and then go away, and we're gonna film this." He like because
Which
somebody
brings me back to the Obi-Wan show was everything we want it to be and more. And it, see, you can go either way after watching it. You can go back to watching the prequels and the Clone Wars, or you can go straight to the original trilogy. You know, you can go either way.
right. Colin just messaged and said he's not gonna be able to make it because his PC's being a piece of crap.
All right,
So it's
that's
just
fine.
all right.
That's fine.
He wants to go to sleep. I get it. He got. I think he got off work early this morning or
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah,
So
but
before we get too down the rabbit hole, we do need to talk about the Kenobi show as a whole. How did we feel about it?
all
I
right,
mean, besides the obvious.
agreed. Um, I felt it. It felt complete to me. Um,
Yeah.
there's a
Uh,
few things I didn't like. Not like big things, but like
Well, we need to elaborate on that. You know, there might be viewers that feel the same way, and or just kind of civil, just opinions and just whatnot.
um. Well, if there's one thing I didn't like was if there's going to be a season two. If there's not going to be a season two, which I don't think there's going to be a season two. It would have been nice to have maybe him cross paths with like Ahsoka a little bit. We could see a younger Ahsoka, see what she's
Yeah.
up to, because
Well,
this this is before Rebels.
I can see why they didn't do that. Well, see, that's another thing too, because the Ahsoka book covers that. She has no contact with Obi Wan before Rebels.
That is yeah, that's true too. Um, other than that, I mean, I know we didn't.
But she has contact with Bail Organa. But he cannot tell Obi Wan about her
Right.
because Bail Organa was the original Fulcrum.
So what?
The original Fulcrum,
Oh,
the code name Fulcrum, Bail Organa was. We found that out in Bad Batch,
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
and then
Um,
she took on the name after she joined up. So,
right. It would have. I mean, it would have been nice to see more than the one clone that we got.
and you can speculate all you want, but I am convinced that was a 501st clone from the March on the Jedi Temple
You think so?
because all the other 501st died
That's true.
in Clone Wars. The
Yeah.
last episode, Victory and Death.
Yep. On the
So
ship
it has to be from the March on the Jedi Temple.
in Obi Wan. See, that's yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Obi Wan understood that it wasn't their fault.
I am a little disappointed that we we didn't even get a Rex, and Rex would have still been kind of young.
I think they're saving that because I don't know. I mean, see, the first time Ahsoka sees Rex is in Rebels, and that's legit the first time she had seen him since the end of the Clone Wars.
Yeah, and
So, and we see him in Bad Batch, and then from there we don't know.
right, and I feel like since we got the guy, why can't I think of his name? The guy that is pretty much every clone.
Oh, Tamara Morrison, yeah.
Yeah, since we got him, man, they got we could do live action Cody, see where Cody was. Like it would be cool to see if
There was a
Cody.
lot of speculation that Commander Cody was going to be in there, but at this point, I think he's dead.
Yeah, you think Vader killed him
Probably. I don't know.
because you think
Just
he?
kind of I'm just going to call it a dumb kind of headcanon thing that he killed Cody because Cody didn't kill Obi-Wan, and it was part of the reason why Vader has to wear the suit.
Oh yeah, because he was like, because he seen him fall, he just didn't see
Yeah,
timing.
they kind of looked, but they didn't. They just said that nobody can survive that fall. I'm like,
All right,
motherfucker, he's a Jedi.
like come on. And then Anakin, or Vader, being who Vader is, being like, so you didn't find a body? No, but nobody should have been able to survive that fall.
It's
Nobody
like,
should.
yeah, he did, and this is yeah.
That would have been, yeah, I could see that happen. Cody
That would
definitely,
have been more Vader than Anakin, though,
yeah,
to do that.
definitely, man. And it's it is what it is.
But you all got to remember too, there is a such thing of having too much in one show.
There is. I mean, there could. Well, it's you're right. It's if it would have been
And
just Yoda and
they already created a brand new character of Riva, and they were teasing, the rematch of the century, and the Leia thing was a whole fucking surprise to me,
yeah, I
you
don't
know.
remember her
And I'm
ever.
glad they didn't show Luke that much because Luke isn't supposed to know Obi-Wan at all.
All right,
Pretty much till the end when he meets him. That's the only time he meets him before A New Hope, by the way.
right.
That's it.
Uh,
Um, and then Qui-Gon. I mean, that's pretty much, and you got cameos here and there, but that's it. I think that's the way it should be. I think that feels more Star Wars that way. If you
right.
have cameos in every scene, it's just like, okay, where does it go? Where does it draw the line from going from being good writing, a good show, to just being fan service?
True. I know,
So,
but like I said, it would have been cool if like it would just have been nice if like one of the. It's like how many clones were there? Dude? There's probably millions, billions.
oh yeah, there's a lot.
But like we didn't get, like even a clone that we didn't know about, just somebody that could have been like, yeah, I
Well,
drove
see,
a
the
train.
crazy thing was, I mean, you can really look into that whole, that homeless clone on Dayu and be like, Anakin never would have left his clones behind, but Vader would.
Yeah, Vader would have because
Yeah,
they would that's a link to Anakin,
yeah,
and it would have been cool to see like when they're on the ship and everything, and those people are like, we got to get these people from out of here. Yeah, when Ice Cube son turning that shit,
yeah.
it would have been
Which
cool.
I'm hoping we get to see more. I want him to be an Andor.
Yes,
I want him to be an Andor.
right. It would have been cool to see like a clone trying to help and be like, since Order 66.
There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, no, because they're just going to be too much. They won't be able to separate Order 66 from clones.
Right.
So they're just like Kanan. He couldn't. He had the
It took
hardest
him
time
a minute.
trusting Rex in them
Uh,
because they were clones.
right. It took him a minute. And it's messed up because like they didn't even mention like the Bad Batch or anything.
No,
Like
they
or
didn't mention. See, that's the crazy thing. There was no mention of any animated stuff. It was
nothing.
all from the movies.
Right. And that
Even the flashbacks weren't even Clone Wars. That was pre-attack. That was before Attack of the Clones. How do I know that? Because they're on Coruscant and he's looking at the Senate building where Padme's staying. This is
exactly.
before he even meets her again.
Yeah. It's and I feel like that is because I don't feel like Filoni or Favreau had anything to do with the show. It's mostly Kathleen Kennedy.
And Deborah Chow.
Yeah.
Deborah Chow was directing it.
Yeah. So, Kathleen's probably a little butthurt right now over
I
Ever.
I don't know if she is or not. I really
Could
could care
be.
less. I mean, as long as the content is good, I
Right.
don't care,
Right.
you
No, I get
know. But
I
if
get
she butts in and has to change stories because she feels like, there's not enough of this here or whatnot, it's like, no, leave it alone. She's a good producer,
you're right,
okay?
yeah.
She's amazing at that. Stay at that. Do what you're good at.
Right.
Leave shit alone.
Right. I just think like you said, there was no mention of animated stuff. Even
Not that I know of. I could be. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I really don't think there was
yeah. I
any
mean Obi
mention.
Wan didn't
There was
even
no
mention
Ahsoka. There was no Rex or anything that happened. No Asajj of interest or anything like that. From the Quinlan was mentioned. That could be a link to the Clone Wars, but
right.
Quinlan was actually in the Phantom Menace as an undercover Jedi.
Exactly. And
And he was mentioned in Episode 3 when Anakin comes in after talking to Yoda when Yoda gives him that bullshit advice, and he's late for the briefing with Obi Wan. He
yeah,
said they sent Master Voss to Boss Pity. That was Quinlan Voss,
right. But yeah, man. I mean, she could have just been like, we're just gonna stick to, the prequel information and be that.
and try to connect it to the original trilogy.
Exactly. And just be
Which
like,
I don't see anything wrong with that,
no, I mean,
really. I mean, I think at this point, the less names you mention, the safer you might be. Like, they don't know where Ahsoka is or anything like that. And Vader surely thinks that she's dead. That's why she left the lightsaber where
right,
she did to make him think that she is dead. So, and Obi-Wan's not going to mention her either because he probably thinks she's dead too. So,
exactly. Well, remember on the last, did you finish Clone Wars, right?
I finished it 3 times.
Okay, I don't want to be like, because I couldn't remember. Anyways, but like when Vader finds her
Yeah,
lightsaber that he gave her,
that he built for her.
yeah, exactly. Do you think he just was like, and she's dead?
Oh, I remember he looked up and saw the bird or the owl. That's
Yeah,
kind of a symbol of Ahsoka. It's
yeah,
actually the symbol of the sister
right,
from that forget the planet, but the father, the son, and the sister, which were the three parts of the Force.
right.
The sister died saving Ahsoka.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's right.
that that's the sister. And I don't know. I don't know what's going through his head. I don't. I mean, I like to think I know Vader really well, but I can't say for sure that I do because,
Yeah, I get it.
the way he
It's
looks up kind of makes me think that, okay, that he sees that symbol, and that's, to me, him, you seeing his eyes through the lenses, you're looking at Anakin, you're not looking at Vader.
right.
So it's Anakin looking up at that bird or that owl and being like, okay, it's there. So there, maybe he thought that was a symbol of Ahsoka. Ahsoka became the owl. Don't
Exactly.
know.
Um,
But then again, he might not have read much into it.
right. I felt like maybe him finding that and seeing the owl might have been and him thinking that she was dead, that it could have been the last piece of Anakin to bounce
Yeah.
out of Vader. Kind of, if you think about it. I mean, in like that symbolic kind of way, like, you know what I mean?
Well, no matter how much Vader shows up, there's a little bit of Anakin. I mean, even when he tells Obi Wan in the show that Anakin Skywalker, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did. He's not really fully dead
Right,
ever. There is never one point to where Anakin is truly gone.
right. I get
Because if
that.
that were the case, Luke would not have been able to bring him back.
Yeah, he would have been completely just, it wouldn't have happened. And Luke would have had to kill him.
And a little bit of a hot take: if Vader or Anakin, okay, I'm gonna try to put this as best as I can. If Anakin was truly dead, and it's just Vader at this point, fighting Luke in Return of the Jedi, Luke would have died.
You think
He would have
so?
died. Vader would have killed him,
Oh, shit.
hands down.
Yeah. I mean, man,
Vader let Luke win because it was Anakin.
right.
I mean, the whole okay in Return of the Jedi when Palpatine was egging Luke on to take his weapon, strike him down with it, and his journey towards the dark side will be complete. He's egging him on to make that move, and Luke is about to do it, but Vader blocks it. Originally, people thought that Vader was protecting his master, but he was protecting his son from not going down that path.
Yeah, definitely. Uh,
And that
man,
whole fight is between that whole fight, Anakin and Vader is fighting with each other. Like when Luke mentions there's like I sense conflict within you, that's what
yeah,
it is. And Vader just shrugs it off and like there is no conflict, which there really is.
it's
But yeah,
Anakin.
if you watch that entire fight, you can see Anakin and Vader, he's battling himself the entire time. And then when Luke finally unleashes his dark side rage against Vader, that's Anakin. That's not Vader anymore.
Damn. Yeah. So I have
Because
something
he
I want
saw
to
himself. He saw himself through Luke and is like, oh shit, this is the mistake that I made.
do.
I'm
Right.
not going to let my son make the same mistake.
Right. I don't want him to live this life,
Exactly.
kind of thing. So there's something I want to do today because I got it. I got it the other day, and it's it's something awesome. It's something that I want to say it's probably the most valuable of the Black Series. If I mean, most likely a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really, like, but it's the one to have if you're gonna collect like prequel Black Series. I guess is that a better
Yeah. Yeah.
Archive Anakin
The
episode
chosen
3?
one.
Yeah, and yeah,
You need
it's
to
not.
get you need to get a cloak for him.
I do. And then we got the back, and it shows when he came out. He was 2014.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
the
orange.
was he an orange box?
Yeah, let's
Yeah, it was
see,
orange box.
orange
Yep.
box. And then he was hard as hell to get back then.
Oh yeah.
And then they released Archive, and everybody was like, "Yes, finally, I'm gonna be able to
And
get
then
an."
his price went up again.
And then his price went up again. Like even pre-orders, if you wasn't trying to order from like Hasbro or like Amazon or anything
Yeah.
like that, like eBay, they still had the Archive Anakin for like stupid amount on
Yeah, it's
pre-order.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and
Well, if that
Yeah.
never boggles your mind, look at how much the Hot Toys Anakin is.
Oh my
The
god.
Revenge of the Sith,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly, dude. Like
It
I,
suddenly
I
makes the Black Series one more affordable.
yeah, I want that one, but I can't. I don't think I can pull the trigger ever on paying like
Yeah.
almost $1,000 for
I'm like,
episode 3 Anakin.
I'm not gonna lie, income tax money was involved.
It happens, bro. It
Yeah.
happens. We're all allowed to splurge in ways we want when we can. When we
Besides Qui-Gon, Anakin is my favorite prequel character.
yeah, right. Do they make Qui-Gon in Hot Toys?
Yeah, they did, and I had him, but I sold him.
Ooh, womp womp.
His
How much
price
do you
already, well, he was going for like 300, but now he's going for like 400 because of the cameo at the end of Kenobi.
I hate that shit, dude. I hate
But I would not put it past Hot Toys to release a Force Ghost version from the show
that'd be cool.
because
I mean,
they
I'm not
love reissues.
I I'm not gonna lie, when I've seen Force Ghost,
I
like
mean, that'd be the one to have is the Force Ghost
yeah,
version.
right. But when I've seen like, well, but I'm only going on Hasbro. Like when I see
Yeah.
like Force Ghost
Well, they'll
Yoda,
do Hasbro do it. You know Hasbro
or
do it because they've
oh
already done Obi Wan
and Yoda.
and Yoda.
I'm
So
surprised they haven't done a Force Ghost Anakin Skywalker yet. Like
I am too because that's the
from
three.
right, like, and I think people would be pissed off because he'd probably be easier to find than and easier to grab than this. Be like, but I
Maybe.
want the damn Force Ghost one. But you know what really kills me is in Return of the Jedi when he replaced Anakin, the first Anakin,
Sebastian Shaw.
yeah, with the other Hayden Christensen. He was wearing just like your everyday 70s, 80s like Jedi robes.
Yeah, he wasn't wearing his robes from Revenge of the Sith at
No,
all. He's wearing
it
like
was
light
like
side robes, I should
exactly,
say.
man. I'm like that's weird.
I still have a, you know, I see why he did it because that was the point. That's what Anakin looked like before he turned.
All right,
But
that was the
but growing up with the original version, seeing Sebastian
right,
Shaw as the Force Ghost
right,
is kind of that makes sense too because that's
right,
what he would have looked like had he not went to the dark side right now.
exactly.
You know.
Right, and but it was weird seeing him replaced.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, anyways, I'm gonna open this just for fun.
Do it.
Ah!
Now it's worth nothing.
Now I've gone to the dark side.
Sorry about that. Oh my god,
Please don't do that again.
that was a new one. There it is. Anakin, light side, dark
Dark
side,
side.
and the lightsaber. I always put. I'm gonna put the Sith head on him just because.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's definitely like my favorite. Just because I just I want a what if, man. I want a Star Wars what if series of like what if Anakin didn't lose to Obi Wan on Mustafar and Obi Wan.
Well, I mean, you could just go, what if Commander Cody actually killed Obi-Wan? There you go.
Ooh,
That takes care of that
that saved
problem.
everybody. Yeah, but then Yoda would be like the only one left.
Yeah.
That would, but then we wouldn't have Obi Wan as a series, and that would suck. Dude.
Well, I mean,
It was good.
sacrifice. It's just a what if, right?
Right, true. It is just you're
You
right.
still
It is.
wouldn't, even if Anakin killed Obi-Wan, there still wouldn't be an Obi-Wan series.
All right, that is true. Damn. But then maybe we'd get like an Darth Anakin series,
You
or like
just
Anakin.
get Vader without the suit, and
Right.
you
It
get the
just
twins trained as Sith.
right, and then he kills Papa.
Oh yeah, that'd be his first order of business is kill. Like, see, the Revenge of the Sith video game from the PS2.
I
If
remember
you beat the whole thing, you can play as Obi-Wan and the final battle and kill, or no, you play
play as
as
Anakin.
Obi-Wan. You can play as Anakin and you can kill Obi-Wan. And then the first thing you do when the Palpatine gives you your new lightsaber is you fucking kill that bastard and you become the Emperor.
Yes. That's awesome though. I
Yeah.
love that. I love the shit out of that. Alright. So there he is. Archive Sith head.
Yep. I used to
And
have him, but I
I
upgraded.
I still love him. I don't care. He's still my
Hey, to
favorite.
each your own, man. I have expensive taste, and you know,
Right.
when it
I
comes to Star Wars, I like my shit to look as movie accurate as possible.
I get it. I totally get it. And then, I could like my custom female Sith
Yeah.
with that.
Is that Deadpool sword?
It's the
The back
black.
in black, the back in
Yeah,
black one? Yeah.
it looks like a katana lightsaber, dude. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You can
it's
almost use that for the Visions episode. With the first episode of Visions, where it has that katana Sith
yeah.
lightsaber, yeah. You can almost use it for that.
And then, but yeah, man. Like I just put it together. I had an extra Scar Joe and Ray body laying around,
Yeah.
so it's not the best, but I
Hey, still cool. I mean, back when I was growing up, I was creating characters left and right.
right.
Not with action figure form. I was actually writing them down and whatnot, and I had a little backstory and what time they took place and all that. And
Oh yeah, dude. It's just I wish you could find a different body because their A body's kind of like I don't weird or whatever.
I'm like, I'm probably gonna sound real ignorant saying this, but they need, if they don't already have it, I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons style, but with Star Wars.
I don't think they do.
I know there's RPGs out there, like you got the Star Wars miniature thing, the ships, like the
Right.
X-wing miniatures, because I played that. But as far as characters and like D and Dungeons and Dragons style, I don't
Right.
know if there is
No,
a role playing game like that or not. And if there
no.
is, I want to do it.
All right. If you're watching this and you know if there is, let us know.
Because I mean,
Um.
I know a lot about Star Wars, but there's still a lot that I don't know. I don't pretend to know everything.
All right. Exactly. I feel you. Me neither. That's why I ask questions all the time, and I
I
usually
mean,
answer.
hell, back in the day when all we had was the original trilogy, I mean, there wasn't a lot of Star Wars anywhere. I mean, all
Not
you
true.
had was like the Power of the Force that Hasbro was doing at the time. I had a
Right.
lot of those. And then the Action Fleet, which did you see that they're kind of bringing the Action Fleet back?
Yeah.
I might get into those. I
You
mean,
should.
I want to get the Slave One and maybe the Millennium Falcon, but it's weird because the Falcon comes with Han, Chewie, Leia, and Obi Wan, but no Luke. I'm like,
Right.
that makes no sense.
Yeah. That is. Well,
But the Slave One comes with Boba and Fennec.
hell yeah. Oh.
And I
What?
think they're doing a Razor Crest, and they did Asajj Ventress's shit.
Very. Dude. Um. Yesterday was Emma's birthday, and Mark came and brought me my vintage Boba Fett, the new one that came out.
Oh, you're the retro.
No, the retro ones I already got. The vintage one is the from the Book of Boba, and it comes with two stormtrooper
Oh,
like battle damage helmets.
I haven't seen that.
But
Well, I went to Walmart earlier, and they had like the whole retro collection of Mando. They had
yeah,
Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, they had Boba, they had I think it was a Death Trooper, and they had
yeah,
Mando. But
yep.
that was it. And I was like, eh. I'm like, no. They're like $10 a piece, and I'm like, nah, I'm
But this
good.
one, yeah, this is the vintage Book of Boba Fett vintage
What,
collection, and
dude?
dude,
I, I want that.
they
I
are
want
starting.
that.
There's no plastic face
Yeah,
window.
dude.
See,
You know that's the vintage collection.
yeah,
That's
this
the one. Yes, that's the one that has the cloth on it.
yes, and this is the one that'll fit in my slave
Yep,
one.
yep. It is.
This is what he comes with.
Yep.
As you can see, like his
Oh my
gun,
God. I
helmet.
saw. Someone
Like,
in the group, they got the Ahsoka one because Ahsoka comes in a box like that too.
really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna have to look for that one next. These are pretty cool though.
They hadn't done that in a while because that used to, when Kmart was still around, Kmart exclusives came in those kind of packaging.
Yeah. Well, Hasbro's going to this kind of packaging with all their brands,
Yeah, I
like
know.
to get rid of plastic or whatever they're doing. But like, I li- love this box, dude. Like,
And it's
I'm
cool because you could take everything out of it and still display the box.
exactly, and it's like if you guys haven't seen these, it's I think these are going for like $20 retail though because
Oh,
he's the deluxe
oh,
version.
yeah, he's the deluxe. That's
He
right.
comes with a bunch of other stuff and everything.
Yeah,
And but yeah, man. I mean, the boxes are pretty sweet, dude. Like, I know a lot of people are worried about it because they think like they're gonna buy them and then bring them back, and it's not gonna have the figure they want in it and everything. People talk,
yeah,
but I don't know, man. I mean, I know mine hasn't been opened because
yeah,
I got mine from Mark in Pana that owns Anarchy and gets stuff like this in. So you know, but yeah, it's it's definitely nice, and the box is awesome. I'm probably gonna open them up, not well today, but later on, because when I actually have time and
yeah,
can get them fitted into the slave one, which I'm hoping he fits because he's got a little extra stuff on it or whatever. But it shouldn't be too bad.
Well, I think we're getting
Uh,
about that time.
yep, same here, man. I gotta feed the kid lunch and take care of the pups, and then I gotta go work at the gas
Yeah.
station.
I think we pretty much covered all we're going to cover today.
Yeah, it was fun, man, as always,
Yeah.
and talk to
Everybody
you.
stay geeky. Later. Until next time.
Till next time, guys.